Water under the bridge.
Oh, my. Did you get all the driveway straightened around for the next rain?
I don't know. Man, I'm struggling. Got a good plan.
Oh, there was Mary, there was guys in there today, there at Kreider's old place, bagging across from there, that Sue, Bossy or whatever. Yeah, guys are in there. If you're standing out in front of the house, to the right of the house, they were putting a driveway in there like they're gonna go, I don't know what they're doing. She said she had an outfit.
Everything's on.
Okay, I'm ready. Open the meeting at 7:37 on August 28th. Pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Short devotion. Dear Lord, we thank you so much for our community and the members in it. We pray that you be with each and every one of them and our employees, our fire department, our EMS, our zoning, our road, and our other trustees and fiscal officer. Give us the wisdom to make good decisions, and thank you for the great weather. Amen.
Amen.
Have you had any changes to the agenda?
I'd like to add an executive session at the very end of the meeting. No action will be taken, just discussion. I'd like Fiscal Officer Lowry and Chief Amy Parker to be involved.
Okay.
And that's all I have for additions.
Have you had a chance to review the minutes from August 14th?
Trustee Berry moves to accept the minutes as presented.
Trustee Griffith will second. I'll make note that Mr. Pero is absent this evening, so we'll do roll calls.
Varian
Yes.
and Griffith.
Yes.
Thank you.
And have you had a chance to review the treasurer's report? Any questions?
Trustee Berry moves to accept as presented.
Trustee Griffith will second. Roll call.
Varian,
Yes.
Griffith,
Yes.
Thank you.
And I see we have no public here for public speaks. Any employees want to say something during public speaks? Okay, we'll move
Okay,
on.
moving on.
We'll move on to the fire department and Chief Parker.
Okay. First thing on my list, we can discuss at a future point in time.
Okay.
At the last meeting, we had talked about replacing the man door in the bay. I do have a quote for that. The quote for that is $1,382. And that would be with us putting it in. So Captain Adams has said he will do it, which it is a cement-filled frame. So that alone will be huge that we do it. So this is the quote. It is from CDF. That is who he used. That's who Jackson had ordered doors through. So that is who it is through. So we measured it multiple times.
Yeah, it's gotta be a fire rated door.
Yeah, so it is a special door.
Yeah.
It is not just the door, it is the frame. Like everything's gotta come out.
It'll
Yeah.
come with a sash. Yep.
Yeah, this is everything.
Yep.
So, and that price is, they will remove the $40 processing if it's an e-check. Otherwise, that would be another I believe it's $41,
Okay.
for processing.
the total of this is $1,382.70.
Correct.
Plus an additional
So that isn't the total then. What's the
Well, if you're
total
gonna send
plus
a
what?
So
check-
if it's an e-check, that is the total. If it's not an e-check, it is an additional $41.97 processing charge.
41.97. Okay.
Yep.
So are we wanting to move forward with that this evening?
So I want to, before we agree to that, I want to talk hose if we can. Because we have tabled this a couple times and I didn't know where we were. Fiscal Officer Lauer, did we decide that some of those funds that we talked about purchasing hose for?
The dollar amount that we have a balance left, let me pull that up, is around $9,600. Well, let me get you the exact number.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that I have not got online where I'm gonna actually process it, but that's what I have accounted for, that we have already,
Okay.
towards premium pay, towards the ambulance, legal fees, everything that we have in there, that's the balance.
That's
that I
after
give
all
you.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
just let me give you that balance here to make sure.
So while you're pulling that, we've talked about hose. We have a quote here in front of me that's $62.50. Since we've talked about this, the last hose check, we had a couple not pass and also go out of service. Is that correct? My goal tonight would be to get this approved with some of that leftover money. In my opinion, I think the hose is more important than the door. Not that the door isn't ugly, and it needs fixed, but
The only thing we were checking too to make sure it qualified.
right.
Everything qualifies.
Okay.
Okay.
Because right now, I don't, to me, that's a safety issue, and that's how I'm gonna put in
Yeah.
the other
So-
one anyhow.
So Atlantic Emergency Solutions is the quote for the hose, and that's $6,250.
We have $9,229.43. We use $14,115 for the air tanks.
And Brad, that's American Rescue, right?
Yeah, and that's where I'm taking it out of. I'm just letting everyone know that when I'm doing this, I have additional reports I have to do. I'm going to word it as it's going to be a part of the American Rescue.
Okay.
So that's where I'm going to do it, because I want to use that money up, because we had a balance when the premium pay was shut off due to the timing on when that was to end. I had planned on using more of that throughout this year, so we couldn't use that. So that balance, I had a little, right around $20,000.
Okay.
So right now, with using the $14,115 for the tanks, there's a balance that's unencumbered in that fund of $9,229.43.
Okay. Is that a copy? Can I have you
It
pass
is
that
not,
down?
but you can have it and then
Okay, great.
we'll make a copy of it.
Perfect.
So how much hose is that?
That's 5 sections of supply line.
5 section? Okay.
Do you even want any more conversation, or is it okay to
No,
spend some of
I'm-
this money on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you give me the amount again? I want to see how much we have left.
Yeah, the total will be $7,600 if we do both. But yes, I'll
We
give you
need
the amounts.
both.
If we do the hose and the door,
Just
The
give me the
door,
hose.
the door won't be able to go
No.
into that.
can't do that with
The door will
Okay.
have to go into the general fund.
All right, let's do hose first.
Yeah.
Trustee Varian moves to pay Atlantic Emergency Solutions $6,250 to purchase 5 sections of hose to replace hose that has been inspected and failed, and some that was damaged.
And Trustee Griffith will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Our roll call, sorry.
Varian,
Yes.
Griffith.
Yes.
Amy, is this my copy of the hose?
Yes.
There's no tax on that then?
No.
No.
Have you
No
sent that to
shipping?
Brian? Do they ship? We go get it.
It's in Virginia. We're probably going to put shipping
Probably ship
charges
it.
on here.
Don't know the answer to that.
Okay. Well, let's
So-
get that approved and get shipping costs, and we'll tackle that.
Okay.
Next meeting.
So that leaves us just a little under 3,000.
Yeah.
Yet to purchase
In that. Yeah.
something else along this line.
Okay.
Door
And then
doesn't qualify.
The door doesn't qualify. Okay. Fiscal Officer Lowry, I know that we're tight in these accounts.
I thought we talked last week, we were gonna hold on the door for a little bit.
Well, we were until I looked at it, but part of what I'm going to ask for your approval tonight, I reevaluated some money that we received in extra interest in the general fund, and you could use that money to do that door in an emergency situation. If the door is, it sounds like we need it. If you need to get that door, we can do it. Now,
I didn't think about this though. Does it come painted? Or does it come raw?
We'll have to paint it.
Okay.
That's a pretty easy fix.
Okay.
Well, you wanna paint that with,
Something
Yeah,
Rust-Oleum or something.
yeah,
Thick.
Rust-Oleum.
Yep.
Thick.
Yep.
It helps it.
yeah.
What do you think, Fiscal Officer Lowry? Do you want to go ahead and get this moving, or do you want to give it a little more time?
I'm just going to say yes, because I'm going to pull it from the general fund. I want you to know, when you look at your fire funds and your soft billing, you don't have any money there, just barely enough to get through the end of the year. So it has to come out of the general fund.
Yeah, I'm not happy taking it out of the general fund.
Your general fund is your most healthy fund
I
right
haven't
now.
seen the door though.
All right. We'll table this, and Brenda, you get up there and look at that door, and we'll talk about it next time.
Okay.
Okay. All right, good deal. On to the next one.
Just for informational purposes, I believe it's at the state level, they approved to cover half of the user fees for the Marks radios. So that cost will go down from $10 per radio to $5 per radio. So that will save you, I believe last meeting, there was a bill for the first half of the year of $750. So that will be halved for the next.
I mean, when I was at a meeting,
Okay.
when they were
7:50.
talking about that, they were talking about that beginning next year, we were supposed to be charged $15 a radio, not 10, because 10 had been discounted. And then the Governor DeWine passed something to cover half the cost.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's, do you know that it's 5 or it's going to
So
be?
the email that I received said that it's 5.
Okay.
The email of the office, fiscal office, the Governor DeWine's effect on going till next year, we had to pay the $750. We've already paid that. So going next year, moving forward, you will have it discounted in one way or another.
Okay.
I don't know how much, if it'll be like Amy says, a percentage of it, or like you might have suggested, they reduced it already. So
Yeah, I'm not sure. It wasn't clear in the meeting I was sitting in either. Do you know, are we short radios now or are we good?
We're okay. We can't afford to buy more anyway, so. The email says that the user fee is reduced to $5 per radio per month effective 7/1/23 through 6/30 of 25. And then it says, be aware that your billing statement from 1/1 of 23 through 6/30 of 23 was at the $10 per month.
Okay.
So nothing about 15, but.
So starting here July 1st, that should have been reduced then
Mhm.
with his biennium budget, which started July 1st.
Yes.
Okay.
that email, Chief Parker, where did it come from? So I have a copy of that one.
I
I want to make sure it's the same one I have.
I forwarded it to you.
All right.
It's from Daryl Anderson, the Stark County Sheriff's Office.
Fiscal Officer, before we move on to calls, on our agenda, approval for the appropriations of $20,000 for the ambulance grant premium pay. Do we need to make a motion for that?
Yes, what that is we did receive the $20,000 grant money for the grant we put in for the Ohio ambulance grant. And that money I had deposited into the fire fund, but I put it in a line item in that fire fund as a receivable in there. And then I need to now, I had it certified by the Stark County Auditor's Office. So that means it's available for appropriation. Now you need a formal resolution by you, the trustees, to redo our appropriation to add that $20,000 in there. So as we start the process of using that money, it'll be all approved both by the auditor, by you as a board, to start
Okay.
using that money.
Is that a separate line item in our, or is it,
It's a separate line item.
okay,
It won't be like American Rescue where I put a whole complete fund. It's gonna be within the fund.
Yeah.
As an appropriated fund. You'll see it say Ohio Ambulance Grant, premium pay.
All right, trustee Varian moves for the approval of the appropriations of $20,000 from the Ohio Ambulance Grant.
trustee Griffith seconds, roll call.
Varian,
Yes,
Griffith.
Yes.
and this is gonna be part of my discussion later, so I'd like to have more discussion on that, but later on in executive.
Yeah.
So, and then what we'll do is, if you don't have anything else, Chief Parker, we'll just do calls.
37 calls. One is says to Canton Township and one from Louisville.
Are we currently still in a burn ban?
We will be again here starting, I forget if it's September or October, but we will be here again.
Okay. Yeah. All right, well, thank you. Cemetery report, do you have anything?
I don't have anything.
Road report, superintendent.
Well, good evening, everybody. The trustee has looked over the road report. Is there any questions you'd like to ask?
We're doing chip and seal on Westfall. I'm asking the question, are we doing Westfall and Fairhill?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was driving across both of those and I saw one place on each of those roads. It's like a tall tree broke off and on its way down, its limbs are,
We've
and
been
they're big
covering all
branches.
that today. It was going around today, picking up
Really?
logs,
Wow, it's
trimming.
not down yet. They're like
Still up in
hanging.
the trees.
They're wedged. They're really big, wedged on another limb.
You mean right before you get down to Indian Run?
And then there's one over on Fairhill.
Well, I can only reach so far.
I know, it's high.
I reached as high as I could with
I
both
thought, I don't know
falls
what you would do.
because the school buses would hit it.
Yeah, it's higher than that, but it's pretty big.
Well, they're hanging up there in big limbs. Ain't much I can do it. We don't have a bucket truck.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna cut the whole tree down, just get that.
Did you guys get a tree on Orchard View for me? Or did you get a tree on Orchard View for me or no? Did you guys get one? Right up from the apple barrel? Yeah, thank you. In the morning I came out and it was cut back, and then the county came through and cut this berm, and it got cut back even further.
Yeah, it was in the night.
It was at night, okay, yeah, all right, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome. I didn't call you.
Yep, thank you.
Was that a new load of stone then it was too wet or just our stone?
That was a new load of stone. Yeah, every load comes too wet. We don't ever get a dry load of 9s. I talked to Art today, as long as they don't have any breakdowns, weather looks good this week, he should hopefully be here Wednesday to start chipping and sealing.
Do you know where you're starting?
We're starting on Westfall because they're coming from south up. They're gonna start right at Westfall and do Westfall and Fairhill and then move their way up this way, come north. I think they're down there doing a little bit for Sandy Township and below them. So,
We'll go ahead and finish. Do you have any other questions for Road? And I thank you, Mr. F, for not asking for money this time.
that's 2 weeks.
You better knock on something.
But it's coming.
It's coming, it's coming.
All
All right, check off the road, hurry quick, move on.
If I could go back to Chief Parker, did you guys have a call? I think was it, might have been Friday up in the, behind the fire department up in there. When I was coming, I think it was Friday, or could have been Saturday, I was coming home out of East Canton and there was a couple vehicles parked on the road, just stopped. And then there was one of those side by sides.
Side-by-sides. That was.
And it was turned up on its back
a
end.
week ago.
No, this was just a couple, it was this weekend before, this weekend. It was turned up on its back end like this, sitting with and there were these people working on it, but the thing looked like it probably rolled a few times or
Is that
something.
when you called me?
That, you mean the one on
It was
Orchard? Street?
camouflage. No, on Wood Street.
What, going out of town?
Oh, which-
Okay.
Okay. It looked, I don't know. I wonder, because there were people standing around it, so I don't know. There were people there, so, and there was no room for me to stop.
You never know.
Okay. All right, that's all I have there. And we're gonna move on to zoning report.
Okay.
Ms. Brocker.
Since the last meeting, there hasn't been any permits issued. I did get one in today, so that I'll put on the next report. Over on the nuisance side, there's a new one over on Lucy, right where 14th and Lucy come together, complain about trash and debris, random stuff floating around the yard. So I checked it out and I got a letter sent out to them. Hopefully they get it cleaned up. As far as the one over on Broadway goes, the vehicles that would probably meet junk vehicles, I saw they were out working on them back by the shed. And the ones in the side lot are ones that wouldn't meet the restriction or the requirements of it. Over on Ravenna, the one with the high grass and now the trash and stuff outside, I reached out to the health department. They called me back today and he said he's gonna take a look at it, hopefully this week, at the latest by Tuesday of next week.
Is that, we haven't talked about that one before, have we? Is that the one where we're not sure if someone was having health issues?
Mhm.
Okay.
I looked up obituaries and there was one that came up with the same name from Canton. So I think that might be the right one, but the health department was going to check on that too.
Okay.
As far as the one on Ravenna for the building, haven't heard anything, no reaching out or anything. And then the one over on Sunlight, I double checked it. There's not a lot I can do for it. The next meeting for the zoning commission is going to be on the 18th of next month. And then the Board of Appeals have their annual landfill meeting. That'll be on Tuesday next week because Monday's a holiday.
So that's just their regular, not anything new. Okay. Okay. Any questions for zoning inspector Brocker? Okay, we're gonna move on. I gotta go back to road report for a minute there. I skipped, the fiscal officer had an update on road applications received.
Well, I want to bring that up about the road applications that we had our work session. And I think you trustees might want to talk how that went because we need to do a resolution tonight about a gentleman that was
Okay.
brought to our attention on that.
So we had advertised once and had a couple applications come in. And then we decided to put it out for a second advertisement on a different website. We used Indeed because we had just advertised just locally. And we did get a few local guys, pretty local, apply. And we had set up 3 interviews additional, and though we had one not show.
Right.
And the last 2 interviews we had, both were great. One was a little more local than another one, so it would have been closer to get here. So we ended up liking both of them. You want to take over?
What am I taking over?
Were you going to,
Am I making a motion?
that's what you said you were going to do.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said we need to. I didn't say I was
Okay, well,
making it.
I don't
Road
have-
guy's not here.
Yeah, the road guy's not here and I don't have the applications. with
No, I don't either.
I don't have his name.
Mike Caitlin.
So,
I didn't have the reservation.
of the two gentlemen that we liked, the discussion was, we liked them both. But Mike Katin, Katin, from Louisville, is the one that we're going to make a recommendation, or I'll make the recommendation that we hire as our replacement full-time road crew. And that would be on a 90-day review. And what his wage is going to be, I believe, $19 an hour. And he does have his CDL.
Class B.
Yeah, Class B.
And we also talked about him getting his Class A, and we had a conversation with him about that. I believe Randy did.
But for now, Class B is all we really needed. So we decided to go that way. So that's my recommendation.
Trustee Varian seconds.
And roll call?
Varian,
Yes,
Griffith.
Yes.
thank you.
We're gonna make that effective, I mean, he's hired effective immediately, but his first start date, being Labor Day, falls on the 4th on Monday. The start date, I would suggest putting that in there of Tuesday, the 5th.
Okay. So we're at the
Tuesday
Tuesday, 5th, that's the start date of September.
And are we gonna have fiscal officer Piro gonna call the folks that did not get the job? Is that the plan? Okay,
He's supposed to if we
okay,
hired one of those two tonight.
great. All right. And we only have 3 people we interviewed that he needs to call, correct?
I thought we interviewed 4. We interviewed 2 first.
2, that's right, because I wasn't here for those.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we interviewed 4 in total.
So,
So we'll let,
okay,
I'll give him a call and make sure he does his due diligence and notifies the rest of the
okay.
applicants.
And then do we need to make any motions or anything to help you shut off Indeed, or is that something?
Right now, I have it on pause.
Okay,
If you want me to leave the account on there, when I talk to them, you can leave it on pause. I don't know if there's a time limit. I didn't ask them that, but if we wanted to modify and look for a part-time guy. we
Use
can
the same
modify that,
profile.
Use the same,
Oh,
use a very
good.
similar profile, just put.
yeah,
different,
adjust it. Doesn't cost us anything to pause it, might as well just pause it.
It just
Yeah.
pause it because this is just a 90-day review.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. I don't know.
And just for point of clarity, I think it's important to note that the 90-day review kind of gives them an opportunity to walk away if they don't feel like it's a good fit.
Yeah.
Same thing with us, which is kind of nice. So, not always the employer that, makes a change, so.
Okay. So with that, we'll move on, and there's no old business that I see, any that I missed.
Looking good.
Okay, new business, approval of an additional appropriation of $34,000 to the general fund, or from it, doesn't say which one it is.
The appropriations there, when I had the certification for the interest money, I had only figured about $6,000 to $7,000 in interest this year in the general fund.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have received over 34, and by the end of the year, I estimate over 40,000.
Wow, those accounts are doing really well.
Yeah, well, it's the way the interest rate is doing right now, and we have the chunk of change that's in there right now, which will all be going out when we, buy ambulances,
Yeah.
we buy road trucks. After we get done with the road program, all that will shrink down to nothing come November, December. So I prorated that out. I had it certified so that we would have money to finish up the fire parking lot because we didn't have enough money in the fire fund to be able to do that. So that money in that general fund is additional money that needed to be appropriated for use. Because I'm planning on using $31,000 of that to use in that parking lot up there, because we do not have money in the fire or soft billing to do that and to maintain till the end of this year. In the fire department, status quo the way we are now. But I had 34,000. I want to use 31,500 for art for 2020. So we'll have a balance there, and that's where I was coming out with the money to be able to use if possible, do the door or emergency situation. We need something up there. Now, keep in mind, trustees, there's, I don't want to say plenty of money, but your 60,000 is still sitting there untouched that we got for capital funds. You still have 5,000 in each one of the line items for improvements to anywhere, any site here in our township, such as this place, like say something would go wrong with the heater and all, but these are the normal cushions we leave there that I always leave there just in case, God forbid, something happens between now and when new money comes in 2024. But this money I saw we're able to continue on with finishing out the parking lot, finishing out all the things that we need to do that were just. And we also were able to use that American funds at the present time to do the hose for the hose and the tanks that we were able to do.
How would you like this to read? How would you like this?
It just needs to be that you appropriate, it's called a supplemental appropriation. It's an additional appropriation. And what will happen, what you'll see, that money's already been receipted in. So when you look at the treasurer's report, that is on the treasurer's report, both in the fire fund, the 20,000 and the 34,000 is on the already in the general fund, other than actually the whole 34,000 is in there, about 27,000, but between August, September, and October, you will have 34,000. You will actually have close to 40,000.
Do you want the motion to read 34,000?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's exactly what I felt. I was conservative. I didn't ask for 40 from the auditor's office. I asked for what I felt mathematically we would have through October.
Okay.
And that's what I'm asking. That way we can utilize that money for the finish out that fire chip and seal the parking lot, and then also the if we needed to do it for an emergency door or anything like that.
Trustee Varian moves to approve the supplemental appropriation of $34,000 to the general fund.
Trustee Griffith seconds?
Roll call, Varian.
Yes.
Griffiths.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And with that, I see no other business, so we're going to prepare to go into executive session. But with that, before we do that, I'll make a motion that we pay bills.
Trustee Varian, second, sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
And so when we do come out of executive session, we will not take any action. So
Fiscal officer, do you have the sheet? My sheet's in my binder. I'm sorry. I usually have it with me.
Yeah.
I have to get a copy.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I usually have it in front of me.
Might have pulled it out when I did the last one.
I know it's personnel matters. I know it's that one.
Are you doing the?
Yeah.
Like
The first one. Yep.
Here,
The first one.
you can use it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I have mine. Okay.
Well, I was gonna say use it.
All right. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Let's see. Apologize, I didn't pull the right sheet up. Put all of them with that sheet.
That's all right.
Hang on a second.
I'm going to call executive session for personal matters. I know most of it. Get on and rattle it up.
All right, trustee Barron.
There we go.
There you go.
Thank you.
Right here's
That
your-
one. All right. Trustee Varian moves to have an executive session for personal matters are required to be kept confidential. This pertains to matters that are required to keep confidential by federal law and or rule of state statutes.
Trustee Griffith seconds, roll call.
Varian,
Yes.
Griffith.
Yes.
The time,
8:07.
8:06. Yeah, 8:07.
Oh, it's clicking. Could be 7, could be 6. It is 6, you're right.
When we do this door, they're gonna need like to pour concrete back in the jam. No? Okay. I was gonna talk about like some paint, some concrete stuff over the door costs, so we can,
No, we'll have to bust it out. So the way they did it is when they put it in, they poured it.
they pour it down, okay. So when they put it in, they'll break the concrete out, and they'll just run the lags in this jam. Okay, cool.
So you
I
guys
didn't wanna
are free
just-
to go, I think it's a record.
Yeah, that was fast.
Chief Parker, you need to stay though.
I didn't want them to be stuck with a bunch of, like, if Adams is willing to do it, I wanna make sure he has what he needs, right?
Yeah.
So paint and whatever. Okay, cool. That one has a window. That door has a window, doesn't it? There's like a little, do you want it